Welcome everyone to the program. We begin today from the ongoing Presidential Elections Tribunal as the People's Democratic Party and its presidential candidate, Alhaji Atiku begin tendering their document that they intend to use to maintain their petition. After the lawyer to the PDP moved for that, the Presidential Election Tribunal delivered a ruling to the effect that the hearing in the petition filed by the People's Democratic Party and its presidential candidate must begin today. Now, the ruling followed an objection to the tendering of documents by respondents in the suit on the grounds that a decision by parties to conference on the documents to be tendered was not done. Well, a ruling was delivered after a 40-minute recess where the chairman of the tribunal, Justice Mohammed Garba, said that we have considered the submission on the issue of filing and schedule of documents and the agreement of parties as a directive of the court to regulate the hearing and agreed with several conditions. Now, earlier, counsel to the President Buhari, Mike Ibokwe, objected to the tendering of the documents by the petitioner. Mr. Ibokwe had said that it was only this morning that they were served and they have not been given enough time to go through them. Well, let's take you back to Abuja, the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal venue. Let's join our correspondent, Amaka Okafor. She has the latest on proceedings there. Amaka.
Indeed, the Presidential Election Tribunal has commenced the hearing of the petition in the main. That is, they have entered into the hearing of the petition filed by the People's Democratic Party and its presidential candidate, Alhaji Atiku. And the party commenced the hearing today with the lead counsel, constitutional lawyer, Professor Ben Wabweze, leading the team. Even though Professor Ben did not spend a lot of time in the court, he did explain to the court that he was duty-bound to lead his team on the day the petition will be heard in the main. And then when he was done with his introduction, the counsel, he handed over to Mr. Levi Uzoku, attempted to begin to present the list of documents they intend to use to pursue their petition. But this was objected to by all the respondents in the suit, which include President Buhari, INEC, and the All Progressive Congress. According to them, it was agreed by parties and was endorsed by the tribunal that the schedule and list of documents were going to be discussed amongst parties so that they can decide on which documents they will be objecting to and the ones they would have no issues with. But in responding to them, Mr. Uzoku pointed out to the tribunal that paragraph 7 of that agreement indicated that parties were going to tender documents from the bar, and if anyone had any issue with any of the documents, they were at liberty to raise it at the point the documents were going to be tendered, but will address the court in their final address as to their objection to the document, and that is the only agreement that was reached by parties. The tribunal, after a 45-minute stand-down, agreed with Mr. Uzoku that the agreement was that documents were going to be tendered from the bar and parties were at liberty to object to it at the point of tendering and then can address the tribunal later on, and that the parties also agreed, and it was endorsed by the tribunal, that hearing in the petition will commence today, and that is what will go on. He therefore asked Mr. Uzoku to continue with the presentation of the documents they intend to use to pursue their petition. So right now, the tribunal is hearing Mr. Uzoku as he presents his documents, starting with Niger State.